Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Vampire the Requiem Louisville. I'm Mike, I'll be your storyteller for tonight, and I'm here with Robin. I will throw it over to her and I'll let her tell you who she is and what she does. So,
Hi, I'm
Robin.
Robin. I'm playing Dee Dee. She's a vampire of the Invictus Covenant and Deva Clan, and she has a YouTube cooking show that she does twice a week.
And for whatever reason, last week didn't go so well.
Yeah, because my dice didn't go so
Yeah.
well.
Well, by now, everybody that watches any of our games
Knows I roll
knows
like shit. Yeah,
knows that your dice hate you and want you dead. But
true.
eh, I'm still trying to figure out what you did to them caused the trouble.
Nothing. I didn't do anything to them.
It's like you had to because it happens in every game you play, no matter what it is.
Maybe I should start massaging them.
Maybe the edible dice would be good for you. It's like they roll badly, you eat them and get new dice.
Right.
But uh, so um, tonight we open with your sunset alarm goes off, which which lets you know it's safe to get up. Uh, you are still there by yourself because Marcie hasn't made it back yet. Because that's one of the issues that apparently now her family's not the only group of vampires dealing with that, as it's seemingly beginning to spread.
All right, there's two that we know of, and who knows how many that we don't.
Yeah, that's that's true. Um, so, so when your alarm goes off, what do you do?
Well, I guess I'll have to do what I usually do and head down and head out to the kitchen and get myself some blood because, have to start the morning right.
So you get your cup of blood before you even bother to get in the shower.
Right, yeah, I have to have the blood first.
So,
Well, it's like coffee, I mean, well, when I was alive, it was coffee, but
well, you head downstairs and you get to the fridge and there's an entire bag of Marcie's blood type because she hasn't been there to drink it. You, however, look at your bag and you've got this is probably going to be the last cup out of your bag.
well, it's a good thing, you know, good thing I'm gonna go hunting pretty soon, then.
Yeah. Uh, where is your cell phone right now? Is it a,
It,
did you leave it in your bedroom or did you take it downstairs with you?
it charges in the kitchen all night. I don't have it in the bedroom.
Oh, okay. Well, you get your cup of blood and you go to unplug your phone, and you notice there are two text messages notifications on your phone. Do you grab it and check the notifications? Or
Yeah.
one of them is from your hunting partner for the day, reminding you to uh, meet him at Hanway Strip Club. Did you guys set a time to meet, or
Yes, we did. I remember talking about it with him, and think think I told him to give me an hour or a
okay?
couple of hours after I got up. I think it was like 2 hours after I got up.
So that would be about 8 o'clock or so,
Yeah,
because
I think that was the deal.
sundown is about 6. So, um, so uh, are you gonna reply and tell him you'll be there about 8, or what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'll tell him that I'll be there around 8 and that I'm looking forward to it.
The other message is from Corvus, and it's like, I don't know what's going on, but overnight we had a couple of more vampires report as having strange, almost flu like symptoms, except they were. They start out as not so bad and then they worsen rapidly. And this is strange because vampires don't normally get flu like symptoms.
Right. So um, I'm actually just gonna pick up the phone and call him.
Okay, so you call him after you check his text. Okay, and he answers after 2 rings. He, he's like, "Oh, hello, Dee Dee. How are you?"
Oh, I'm all right. I just got your message. I just want to make sure you and Janice are all right. You all ain't sick, are you?
No, the two of us are doing well. The the major problem is uh, the kindred that gets this. They get worse rapidly to the and it dehydrates them, which we've even pumped blood into the first person, and it doesn't seem to do any good. You said your roommate Janet or Marcie is dealing with this in her family.
Yeah, she got an uncle who's sick.
Um, would she mind if I called? Cause
Oh,
I
I don't.
want.
I don't think she would, no.
I want to compare symptoms with the 3 vampires that we now have confirmed ill with her, what's going on with her uncle.
Yeah, I don't think she'd mind. I mean, you are the rep and all, so, you know.
Well, if they're having serious issues with him, I don't want to interrupt them, but
I haven't really heard from her today, so I'm not sure what's going on,
yeah,
what's going on over there. But I mean, it can't hurt to try to give her a call, I guess.
yeah. Um, and he basically asked you for her cell number because he has yours, but I don't know that he has hers.
I'll give it to him.
He's like, well, that's good in any case because now I can put her number in my phone with yours.
Right. Oh, and while we're talking, you wanted me to keep you up on our little our friend.
Oh, yes,
I'm actually going to be meeting him to go hunting in a couple hours here, so I just thought I'd let you know.
really.
Yeah, I'll try to get some information out of him about what the hell he's doing, but I'll try to be subtle about it, of course.
It'll be interesting to see, to find out where he thinks his hunting grounds are, where where he tends to go hunting.
Right, yeah, he actually didn't tell me. He's gonna take me somewhere though, I guess.
Just be careful and put my number on speed dial if necessary. So
That's probably not a bad idea. I think I'll do
if
that.
if anything starts to go sideways, give me a call.
All right, I will.
But I'm getting worried with the 2 new vampires that became ill overnight. The-
Well, yeah, that whole thing is pretty concerning for us.
yeah, I'm really not sure. And I haven't gotten any reports from anybody that knows what this is or whether it's actually fatal to us or not. So,
Right. Well, I mean, the flu can be fatal to humans. I mean, it's not
mm,
usually, but can be. So,
well, and we don't even know how this is spreading. We don't know whether it's vampire to vampire or how it's spreading.
y'all
So,
have somebody working on trying to figure that out? Like, you
yeah,
know any vampire scientists or
yeah,
anything?
we we've got lab people working on it as we speak, but they're like we're flying blind because we've never seen anything like this. So I just hope none of us start dying before they figure out what it is.
Well, yeah, and I'm kind of worried about Marcie because if it is vampire to vampire, then she's taking care of someone who's sick. She's gonna get sick,
Yeah, that's true. Um,
and then I mean, if she comes home and gives it to me, which hoping she doesn't do.
Right. And um, yeah, you might want to check in with her and see how all that's going over there. Oh, by the way, how did the new tech girl work out on your um, YouTube show?
Oh, she worked out real well, actually.
Well, that that's good to hear. Uh, she can stay there until Marcie comes back, at least. Um, and then she must have been okay with it because I haven't gotten any messages from her or anything. So just wanted to make sure everything went okay.
It did, yeah.
No. Um, well, you have fun hunting tonight. Like I said, if anything starts to go sideways, give me a call.
All right, yeah. That's a good idea. I'll put your number on speed dial just in case. I mean, can't be too careful.
Well, that way you only gotta hit one number and you can do it
Right.
sort of hiding in case your hunting partner goes a little wonky, shall we?
Right. I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
Well, I think it's a little bit wonky anyway,
Well, there is that. That's
but
that's very true. Yes.
and I will try to give Marcie a call and see if I can get a hold of her. Because I want details on what's going on with her uncle. So, oh, and even if the hunt goes well, give me a call or a text on anything you may be able to find out about our friend here.
Oh, I will.
So, okay then. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye. And he hangs up the phone. Fact, speaking of that, where is your little tech friend? Has
Well,
she?
oh, I was gonna say I'm assuming she left, but she actually did spend the night, didn't
Yeah.
she?
So I was
She's in the
wondering.
shower.
Yeah. So, given what you're gonna do for the evening, what are you gonna have her do while you're gone?
Well, I remember last time she volunteered to tail us just in case things went sideways.
Oh yeah, I did forget about that. So that leads me to what are you gonna wear on this little adventure you're going on? Yeah, you
Well,
gonna?
because I have sense of humor. When I'm hunting, I usually wear camo. I wear like the camouflage cargo pants, the flak jacket, because I'm hunting, right?
No, I was gonna say if you end up hunting in the city, that's gonna look kind of odd, but everybody wears camo now, so it's become a fashion thing now. So, okay.
It's like I'm hunting, so I might as well look like I'm
Well,
hunting.
you actually have a reason to wear it. Most people don't. Um, I have literally spaced the tech girl's name. I can't.
I don't remember what it was either. I know she had a name.
Well, I'm thinking it was something like Kylie or something. Uh,
I don't remember.
well, okay. From now on, her name is Kylie. We'll just go with that.
All right.
Uh, Lesson to all other gamers out there: take notes, because names disappear in your head really quick if you don't. So,
Right,
uh,
yeah, and that's something I'm not great at. Like I
so,
don't take enough notes on the names myself.
so I'm good with concepts, but names are an issue. Uh, so about the time you get off the phone, you hear the shower stop, and within a minute or two, Kylie walks into the kitchen, not wearing anything, by the way, not even a towel. She says, "Oh, you're already up, I see."
I am, yeah. You want some blood? I can get you some of Marcie's.
That would be really nice. Um, then, as you're doing that, she sort of looks down and goes, "Well, I guess I should have at least put a robe on or something."
I don't mind.
Yeah, but I don't really want to sit on your furniture that way.
Ah, well, there was that. Yeah.
Mm. So she's like, "I'll be right back." And she heads into the bedroom to grab a robe and comes back out, sits down across from you, and goes, "So, did you sleep well last night?"
I did. Well, I slept like the dead. That one never gets old.
Yeah. Well, it's because we actually do. Um, she takes a sip of blood and goes, "So how's tonight gonna work?"
Well, I'm gonna out and try to be at the strip club around 8, and I guess can follow. Well, you were saying you wanted to follow along just to make sure everything's all right. So I don't know how much lead time you want to give us. But
Well, one thing I was wondering is, are you gonna go in your vehicle or are you gonna go in his vehicle?
well, I think we're going to figure that out once we get to the parking lot. So, I mean, I'm going to take my truck over there, and then he and I will figure out whether we're taking the truck or his. I think you said he had a Jeep.
Yeah. Um, because I'm just wondering if I should bring my car or if you end up going in his Jeep, I could drive the pickup truck, but
Well, that might be a little more conspicuous.
yeah.
Although, Well, I mean, everybody's got a truck here, so maybe it wouldn't
Right.
be.
You're talking Kentucky.
I just realized that.
Everybody has a pickup truck. Even the people that don't have pickup trucks. Yeah. Um. Well, why don't I just take my own car? Because he's never seen that.
Right, oh, that's true. He has seen my truck.
So he won't think anything of it. Um,
Well, I mean, as long as you don't have, like a bright Pepto Bismol paint car or
no.
anything.
and I don't have a license plate that says, yeah, Gen Z vampire on it. Yeah. My other car's a coffin sort of thing. Yeah. Uh, no.
Right, or if you're a cat lover, vampire.
The only way I love cats is as a food source.
Oh, well, I don't know if I could get behind that. I like kitty cats.
Well, yeah, but if you have no other way to get blood, and Dee Dee's over her time has dined on a rodent here and there a
Well,
time or two.
squirrels, I
So,
actually kind of like squirrels. The
well,
only thing, the only problem with them is you have to, feed them 3 or 4 of them to even
right.
feel like you're fed.
Well, and you being a YouTube cook, you can then use the dead squirrel in a recipe or something.
Well, sure, squirrel stew. Why not?
Hmm. And probably a big thing in your area, actually.
As long as it's not roadkill. I draw the line at using roadkill squirrels
Yeah,
for anything.
yes. But out of game, I can't believe they have a restaurant that serves that shit. Uh,
I was gonna say above game. This is the content you guys watch for, right? Us talking about eating dead squirrels.
well, somewhere, I think it's in Pennsylvania. They have a restaurant that actually it's all they serve. It's like, no, thank you. But anyway, I um, you give the shower a couple of minutes, there'll be hot water again, and so after I finish my blood, I'll go get dressed, and then I guess we'll go from there. Um, I'll follow you to the strip club, but I'll park like a block away so he won't see the car.
All right, good idea.
Yeah. Even though the strip club parking lot's probably gonna be crowded, it's like probably better if I don't. Um,
Well, and although he hasn't seen your car, he has seen you. So,
yeah, that's true. In fact, we've met. Although I don't know. That dancer the other night was rather cute.
well, she was indeed.
Maybe after this is all over, some night we'll wander back in there and see if she's working.
I would definitely be amenable to that.
Yeah, you're lucky you didn't end up with fang marks.
Well, leaving them, receiving them, whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's good to keep in mind. uh, I think a complete black ensemble is called for. That way I can hide in the dark, sneak up on this guy and hit him with something.
Like, if necessary, I wouldn't do that just for the fun of it.
I
But
don't know. Seems a little odd to me. Maybe we should just do that. Call it good. So she finishes her blood, walks over and kisses you, and heads for the bedroom to get dressed. Hold that she didn't bring any clothes with her.
I guess she's gonna have to wear what she wore last night, then.
She goes, I'm going to have to go through Marcie's closet again.
Yeah, she's not here, so don't see why not.
She's like, I'm going to owe Marcie some clothes when she comes back.
Or at least you're gonna need to do her laundry for her.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So she heads off to get dressed. And so, do you finish your blood and head for the shower or what?
That's what I do.
Okay. So, and Kylie was right. There's enough hot water for your shower. You step out of the shower. Do you have an actual set of camo garb in your closet or how?
Yes,
Okay.
that's my hunting outfit.
So is it the pants and a top, or did you go like full overall full overall camo? It's like
No, it's the like the cargo pants and the top with the jacket.
okay. As you're getting ready to do this, a thought crosses your mind. One of the upsides of being a vampire is that temperature changes don't bother you anymore. It can be 0 outside or 80 or 110 and they all feel the same.
Right.
So it's one advantage to being dead. So, uh, so you get all dressed up and now, do you have like Doc Martin boots or how do you? Uh,
Well, yeah, well, just like hiking boots, yeah.
okay, just regular. Okay, so you're busy lacing up your hiking boots and um, you hear Kylie say from Well, she would be in the same room because she's getting dressed out of using stuff in Marcie's closet. Um, I didn't pull my character sheet out. Let me do that real quick. Because if I'm going to make you roll for something, I've got to know what I'm going to make you roll for. Um, hmm. Give me a wits and intelligence roll.
Okay, that's 2 successes. One of them's a 10. 2 successes total.
You hear the you hear your phone ring. I'm assuming it's still in the kitchen.
Yeah, so I'll run down and hope I grab it in time.
In fact, it stops ringing just as you get to the kitchen table. But a text pops up a couple seconds later. It's from Marcie. Uh, Says, call me back um, whenever you got a minute. So do you call her back now?
Yeah, I'll call her back now.
Phone rings a couple times and um, she answers. She's like, hi Dee Dee, I uh, didn't want to bother you if you're busy, but
Oh, I was actually running for the phone. Sorry I missed you. What's going on? How's your uncle doing?
uh, not good.
It's getting worse.
Yeah. Oh, Corvus called.
Yeah, he told me he wanted to talk to
Yeah.
you about the whole thing because there's a couple more of them now.
Yeah, that if it goes anything like my uncle's going, that's not a good thing.
No, how are you? How are you doing? Are you all right?
Uh, I'm um holding together. I'm not sick, but
Stressed. I mean, that's understandable.
what's going on with my uncle is not pretty. He's hemorrhaging blood.
Yeah, that's not pretty. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. You think
we don't.
think he's gonna make it?
We have no idea at this point
Is
because
he conscious? I mean, is he aware of what's going on? Is he in pain?
he's conscious off and on. Uh, Pain, I'm not so sure about because I don't really know how that works as far as vampires go. Um, but yeah, if the hemorrhaging blood part keeps up, he's not gonna make it because he's losing blood quicker than we can give it to him.
Yeah, that's not good.
So, um, and I told Corvus this so he could watch for signs with the other three. But yeah, this is not good. But the bright side is, so far, except for my uncle, everybody else is doing all right.
Well, that's good.
Uh,
Wait.
um, oh, Corvus also said that he sent one of his tech people over to do your YouTube show.
Uh, yes, he did.
How'd that go?
Well, she did a good job. The show wasn't great, but that was more of my food than anything. It wasn't working out too well the other night, but
Uh,
yeah, no, she did a great job. And
uh, Not every recipe goes well, I guess. You got ideas for your next one?
oh, I have to think about it a little.
So, you got
Excuse me.
you have plans for tonight?
Actually, I do. You know that the weird guy that's been hanging around?
You mean the one that texts you every night?
Yeah, we're going hunting.
Really?
Yeah, and I've got Corvus looking out for me. So, and Kylie, his tech girl's gonna trail us, make sure everything's all right.
This guy'd be the last vampire I would expect you to go hunting with.
Well, I want to try and get some information out of him about what his deal is. So I figure being friendly with him was the way to do that.
No. Just be careful that he doesn't try anything strange.
Oh, I'll be on the lookout. As Kylie said, if he does try anything, well, we'll attack him 2-on-1.
Yeah. Oh, because he's strange already, so it doesn't really. It
Yeah,
wouldn't.
he's a little weird.
It wouldn't take a lot for him to decide you pissed him off or something. So, but okay, I will let you go so you can go and do that. I will keep you up to date on how my uncle is doing.
Yes, please do,
But
and hopefully you hopefully you stay healthy.
yeah, um, but to be honest, I'm not giving great odds on my uncle recovering from this, which is scary considering it's spreading.
Yeah. Well, Corvus told me he's got people looking into the whole, figuring out how it's spreading and everything. So if if that goes well, hopefully they'll be able to find some way to stop it or create an antidote or a
Yeah,
vaccine or something.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, have fun on your hunt, and if necessary, make this guy victim number 2,
All right.
because he might be weird, but his blood is still as good as anybody else's. So,
True enough.
so hopefully I can be back soon. Uh, I'm not sure when, but and hopefully Kylie keeps working out for the show.
Yeah, I think she's doing a good job. She's good company too.
Well, that's good. Uh, just don't do anything that uh, with one of Corvus's people that might uh, upset Corvus. You don't want your rep mad at you, so
Well, I don't really know what would upset him, honestly, and hopefully I haven't already done something that's gonna upset him.
if he hasn't mentioned it, you're probably good.
Oh, he hasn't.
So, well, I will call you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
So, were you dressed when your phone rang, or are you still in
I was
private?
dressed.
Okay. So, you basically sit down at you put your phone back down on the table and you sit down by the kitchen table. A couple minutes later, uh, Kylie walks in looking like something out of a spy movie. I mean, black from head to toe. Uh, even got the, black stocking cap over her hair and all this stuff. She's like, well, I guess I'm ready to go whenever you are.
All right. Well, guess we ought to head out then.
Well, uh, I guess I will see you when all this is said and done. Uh, I w- don't forget to take your phone with you.
Right. So I'll grab that and put it in my pocket right now.
And I have Bluetooth on in my car, so we can stay in communication if necessary. And the two of you walk out the door. You lock the door behind you. She gets into a gunmetal gray Mustang that is parked on the street next to your apartment. And you get in the pickup truck. And she lets you go ahead of her. And within 5-10 minutes, you're at the strip club parking lot. And as was thought, the parking lot is full. Even for a night in the middle of the week, the parking lot is full. Did you guys ever talk about what kind of vehicle he had?
He mentioned he had a Jeep.
Oh, yeah. So, but the interesting thing is when you pull into the parking lot and start looking for Jeeps, there are 4 of them of different models and different colors. So, what are you gonna do?
Well, I guess I'll text him and say I'm here.
Okay. You do that, and a couple of minutes later, you see the headlights on a two-tone Jeep. It's sort of red with black racing stripes, which are odd for a Jeep because they don't normally have that. Because Jeeps aren't the fastest vehicle in the world. You generally don't put racing stripes on them.
Right.
But the headlights flash, and you can see him waving from the driver's seat. He gets out of the Jeep and walks over to your pickup truck. How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Although I'm starting to worry with this thing that's happening.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good thing for our kind.
I want to know who's doing it. Because we don't normally have environmental things that cause stuff like that.
No,
So it's
something's going on.
my theory that somebody's doing this on purpose.
Well, that seems to be most the most believable, the most possible thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you want to go in separate vehicles, or how do you want to do this?
Oh, I was going to ask you that. You want to take my truck? We'll take the Jeep. I mean, we probably ought to go together.
Yeah. Your pickup truck might be a little less conspicuous than my Jeep.
Well, yeah, probably everybody's got a truck.
I can just go inside for a second and tell the bartender or the DJ that I'm leaving the Jeep out in the parking lot for a couple hours. So, and turns around and walks into the club, complete with his signature chef jacket with a blood stain.
But while he's gone, I'll shoot Kylie a quick text, tell her we're taking the truck so she knows which car to look for to follow.
Okay. You get a text back going, got it, I'll be right behind you. Uh, Not too close behind you, but right behind you. And while that's going on, you see him walk back out of the club and walk up to your pickup truck and go, okay, they know to check on the Jeep every now and again. So we're actually ready to roll. Oh, yeah. Do you have blankets in the truck?
Blankets? Yeah, I got a couple.
Or something to cover bodies with
Yeah, I got a couple blankets.
if necessary?
You're planning on going out for takeout or what?
Well, you can't just leave bodies out in the open.
Oh, you can? That's, I laughed. I'm like, well, that's sort of what Marcie and me did.
The police will eventually show up.
Well, we made it look like a werewolf attack. That was before they really did start attacking everybody. It
Oh, okay.
was when there
Uh,
were just rumors about werewolves.
yeah. As you say that, you think to yourself how nice it was to have 4 newbie cops on the force when that happened. Because you sort of got away with that.
That was well before they were made.
Um, well, yeah, but they were given the case.
Oh,
So you didn't get human cops
okay.
asking you questions about what the hell went on there. Or at least not yet, anyway. So he motions to you to open the passenger side door, which you can do by just pressing a button. Yeah. In the newer models, you can tell it to do it, and it'll do it. But um, so he climbs in the passenger seat. He goes, "Nice truck."
Well, thank you.
I should probably get a bigger vehicle. My Jeep's not all that big. It doesn't have a whole lot of room in it. Um, where do you normally hunt?
Well, honestly, we normally get blood from the blood bank. Last time I went hunting, it was up in the well-to-do area.
Oh, really? Uh, I tend to go hunting in what you might call the recreation area. There are hiking trails and such like that.
Oh, that's probably a good idea. It's a kind of remote, not a whole lot of people around.
You can you know, hunt down dinner and then throw them in the woods and nobody finds them for a while.
So do you mostly go for like campers and stuff?
Yeah. Or joggers because they're really silly. They shouldn't be jogging anyway.
Especially not at night. You find a lot of people jogging at night.
Right. Well, they don't think there's a problem with that until there is. And then,
Till they get attacked by a vampire.
which,
That's the last thing they expect when they're jogging.
and it's usually the last question they ask, too. It's like, you do the whole fang reveal thing, and they're like, hold it. This isn't a movie.
Like, no, it's not, child.
Right. Yeah. And they're like, holy crap. That's usually the last thing out of their mouths. Not to mention their eyes get really big. Yeah. They're like, whoa. But then we might have some new people over there. I haven't been over there in a couple of days. There might be some fresh campers over there.
Fresh campers on the menu. That sounds good.
They might even have barbecues going. Who knows? Smells good, but really wouldn't do well taste wise.
Oh, I'm sure it would taste damn good. It just wouldn't do too well digestion wise.
Tastes good going down, but not real great coming back up.
Right.
You could always put some barbecue spices in your cup of blood, I guess, if you really wanted barbecue flavor. But so, and the camping area is on the edge of town. It's not too far from where you are. It's like somewhere between 5 and 10 miles. It's a it's about the same distance as the airport, only in opposite directions. So he pulled up his phone and brings up Google Maps and shows you where the uh, state campground and all the trails are and stuff like that. And he's like, whenever you can't find anything in the city, you could probably come out here and get a meal or two fairly easily.
Well, as long as it's not too cold, probably. I mean, I don't think people want to camp out here in the middle of winter, right?
Oh, there's people out here that camp out in the snow.
Really? That don't
Uh,
sound like a fun time to me.
yeah.
But
Easier to hide them too, at least till it melts off.
there was that.
Mm. So, you guys, you start up the truck and you head out of the parking lot. Um, it isn't too long until you look in your rear view mirror and you see a gray Mustang running behind you. And maybe in 20 minutes, you are out of the city and there's a lot more trees and uh, it suddenly gets a lot darker because you don't have the city lights all over the place. And you come to a sign that says, state campgrounds with a arrow to your left. So he's like, yeah, you need to turn down this road toward the campgrounds to where all the hiking trails are too.
I'll turn.
He's like, I can't believe people go hiking at like 10 o'clock at night.
That seems awfully dangerous, doesn't it? Aren't there like things in the woods that come out at night? And I'm not just talking about us either.
And you would really think that with the werewolf issue, it would have cut down on that. But,
Well, for all we know, it's the werewolves that are going hiking at 10 o'clock at night.
well, they're probably doing the same thing we're doing, looking for food. Although werewolves may leave a much larger mess than we do.
They do, yes. Right all over my porch.
Yeah, they don't tend to clean up after themselves all that well. And you get, within a couple of minutes, you get to the campground parking lot. And he's like, you need to park the truck here, and from here on out, we're on foot.
All right. I'll park it.
So you guys park the truck, and he says, is there any gear you need to bring, or are you good, or what?
Well, I got my phone. I might as well just tuck my handgun into my pocket, just to be on the safe side.
In case any campers give you any grief.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of in case anything else that happens to be out here hunting gives us any grief.
So he sees you do this, and he's like, I didn't know you owned one of those.
It's Kentucky. Everybody owns at least one of these.
Well, yeah, most people own rifles, but you being a vampire, I didn't think you'd need one of those.
Well, I've had it longer than I've been a vampire.
Because you saw how quick Hanley moved in the club that night when you
Yeah.
tried to shoot me. Oh yeah, I remember that. You did have a gun. You tried to
wasn't trying to shoot you. I
you
was
tried
just
to shoot me.
wasn't trying to shoot you. I was just trying to, break to distract you so you'd stop. What the hell was that anyway? What were you grabbing on the dancer for?
Well, uh, it wasn't anything major, really. I wanted to take her into one of the side rooms, and she didn't want to go.
Yeah, well, no means no. Didn't you know that?
She's a vampire. What the hell's I gonna do to her? Um,
Maybe she doesn't like you.
well, she does, however, like fairly large denomination pieces of green paper.
Yeah, well, who doesn't?
That's what she was working for. So, uh, I don't know. Maybe she was having a bad night. I don't know. Oh, and by the way, you did distract this when you tried to kill the bar- bartender over in the other corner.
Yeah, that was sort of a misfire. It wasn't that poor guy. And then and then Hanley attacked those cops, and he was just poor thing.
Well, like I said, you saw how fast he moves. We can do that. So there's no real need for guns or anything because you can outrun anything.
I guess it's just sort of a comfort thing, though.
Unless there's, cheetahs out here that we don't know about.
Yeah, I wouldn't think they'd be out here in Kentucky.
No, woods are their preferred habitat.
No.
Although they do like a good barbecued brisket every now and again. Um, we can even outrun werewolves. Uh,
Can
we're
we? I
yeah,
thought that was iffy whether we could do
yeah,
that or not.
we're faster than them. They just do more damage if they get a hold of you than we do. Yeah, might keep that in mind.
Oh, I've seen the footage on the news. I know what kind of damage they can do.
Yeah. So, uh, uh, I'd say let's hop out of the truck and see what we can find.
All right.
You both jump out of the truck and you head for the gate the gate on the campground, and it says, you know, $5 admission, but there's nobody guarding the entrance to the campground. There is one of those, you know, large metal bars that go up and down that automatically, that like keeps your car from just driving through.
Right.
Um,
But we're on foot, so we can slip on under it if we want to.
well, he just grabs it and pushes it up out of the way. It's like, eh. They won't be needing it after tonight anyway. So you guys start walking down the trail, and you see a bunch, you know, scattered ca- campers here and there with, you know, fire pits going and kids roasting marshmallows and adults getting much more inebriated than they should be. And as you get a little further down, you start to see a jogger or two. There's one guy on a bicycle that speeds past you. So, what is the conversation between the two of you? You said you were going to attempt to get information out of him.
Right.
When are you going to start to do that? And how do you plan on doing it?
Well, first of all, I think I'm just gonna just might make conversation. Like, we'll ask him how long he's been, in Kentucky, whereabout he lives, because obviously this is his regular hunting ground. He found out about it somehow, so does he live close to here, that sort of thing.
Well, yeah, I actually have a house a couple of miles from here. I can actually walk here anytime I want to. Um, the when they get back in the morning and find their little gate thing all mangled, they're gonna be a bit upset. But yeah, I've lived in Louisville for 7, 8 years now.
You got family here? Or?
Nah. Um, they all died in a car accident. My sire was a restaurant owner. That's how I got to become a chef.
So you actually, that's not just a persona thing, you are a chef?
Yeah, have been for I don't know how long now. Um, not doing a whole lot of cooking as you might imagine in Louisville.
Well, no, I mean, I am, but
Yeah, I think,
so is that how you ran across me? You saw my cooking show or something? And
yeah,
what's the whole stalking thing about? I gotta know. What was that? And what was that whole thing with you breaking into our house? That message you left on our wall? Was that about?
right. Eh, back then it was more about competition. Um, I'll even tell you the story of the why there's blood on my coat.
That would be nice. I mean, that's a little. Well, I mean, shit. I watched you kill two college girls, but
Well, yeah, that was easy. I just didn't want. I wanted to do that the human way, so as not to give us away, as it were. I could have done it the vampire way, but you know.
so what's with the blood on your jacket, man?
Um, let's just say My sire and I had a bit of a disagreement. I won.
You killed your sire?
Yep.
That's not something that's usually done, is it?
Not generally, no.
What was
But
the disagreement about? Something serious? It wasn't over something stupid, was it?
his wife,
Yeah, well, shit. That's all. That's a human thing. The whole jealousy deal. We don't get jealous. Or did your sire?
I wanted her. He didn't want me to have her. There was a fight that ensued, and he lost.
So what happened with his wife?
She's at home.
So she stayed with you after you killed her husband?
Yep.
Well, damn. I'm assuming she's a vampire too.
Yep.
Well, all right. So it wasn't the human that you killed then, but
Her theory was, if you're good enough to kill him, I'll just hang out with you.
well, there you go. And
Well,
so what about and the whole stalking me thing and bugging my phone? What was that all about? How'd you even get a hold of my phone to do that?
oh, I didn't. That was actually a computer thing. I just logged into the company that owns your phone. I can basically hack anybody's phone.
But why? I mean, why'd you do that?
We all play little games. Uh, Now, granted, all of that was before um, we actually met, shall we say.
Right.
Uh, and now that I've gotten to know you a little better, and we also now have other more pressing things going on as far as the vampire society as a whole. Uh, you know, you have plans, your rep has plans. I have plans of my own.
Plans as far as what go. Plans as to what?
Let's just say that my goal is to be considerably more influential in vampire society than I currently am. And if that takes creating a little more chaos for certain people or certain groups, I don't have a problem with that.
I sort of stop and I'll look at him like, did you somehow whip up this virus that's been attacking vampires?
No, now that wasn't me. I
Do you have
have
any idea what that might be?
I have computer skills. I don't have scientific skills like that. And but what I can say is it's um, not a naturally occurring thing.
Well, I didn't think so. But do you have any idea who was behind it or anything?
either a vampire or a human created this in a lab somewhere.
But you don't know who or which one it was. Could have been a werewolf for all we know.
Well, yeah, because we don't even know who the head of the current werewolf thing is. And there has to be one because they don't randomly do stuff like this.
Well, I mean, there's a pack. I'm assuming they've got a pack alpha or something if they're anything like wolves.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're exactly that, which um, we have not. The contacts I have not tracked the leader. Uh, they haven't been able to find him as of yet.
Now, when you say you have contacts, you mean in the human community? You mean in the vampire community? I mean, who are your contacts?
That would be the vampire community. I don't deal with humans.
I'm assuming you're talking like if you're talking that kind of contact in the vampire community, I'm assuming you're talking the cats.
Some, not all. Um, uh, in the 7, 8 years I've been here in town, I've been able to, you know, through a little quote horse trading here and there, I've been able to build up some fairly, I'd say, mid-level influence connections. Um, some of them actually are in the scientific community because I've been able to do computer favors for them. And so, in return, when they get any information about this, they pass it on. And my scientific contacts are almost sure that this was a lab created thing.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. But what we need to know is who created it.
Well, one of my contacts actually got a hold of a sample of this thing from the
Really?
from the from the first vampire that got sick. Yeah, no, not your roommate's uncle, but the first vampire in Louisville that got sick.
I thought he was the first. There was someone before him.
Well, there's been 3 in Louisville proper, and then him, or
Oh,
him, and then 3 more.
right.
Uh, the first one of those 3, my friend was able to get a sample from. And that told them that it wasn't a naturally occurring thing. Because we don't get symptoms like that.
Well, like I said, what we need to do is figure out who and why, because, I mean, somebody's attacking vampires,
Well,
either human or another vampire. Who knows what it could be? That's not good news.
well,
Does anyone know how it's spreading?
not as of yet, since there's only been 4 people. Um, they're still working on the common denominator is, why did these 4 people get this? And once they figure out that, they can figure out how it spread. So, and it might be another vampire trying for a power grab or something. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we have no idea what it is or what it could be, so that's not good, but I'm glad you're not behind it. Because, I mean, the
No.
way you were talking about wanting to, crossing lines to become more influential, it all sounded kind of like.
Oh, that will happen, but I have other ways in mind.
Like
Um,
sticking werewolves on people.
no.
And I sort of laugh like it's a joke. Like I know it's not true, but I'm trying to get him to open up.
Werewolves are just cuddly little doggy creatures. Are you
Oh, they
kidding?
sure as hell don't look too cuddly to me on the news footage.
No.
Although that little girl was saved was all right. That poor little
Well,
thing.
oh,
Humans are awful.
yeah, well, that's why they're food sources. Uh, Speaking of that little girl, have you heard about anything more about that yet?
No, I haven't heard anything from Hamley.
Hmm, that seems strange.
And he's probably got his hands full. I mean,
Yeah, one of
one of his
his,
staff is sick.
yeah. Hmm, I wonder if this is a vampire specific thing, or if having that little girl there could get her sick too.
I don't know. So far, it's been vampires.
And that's what I'm saying. If the werewolves can get it too, that's a whole other,
Right.
you know. Oh, by the way, how is Marcie's uncle?
Oh, he's. According to her, I talked to her a little earlier tonight. She seemed to be getting worse. He's hemorrhaging blood and not pretty.
Ow,
She's not too sure he's going to make it. Actually,
that's not good.
no. I honestly, I'm kind of worried about not knowing how it spreads, and she's around him all this
Mm,
time. I'm kind of worried about her getting sick.
That's a legitimate thing. Uh, Makes me worried about the other 3, though.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, come to think of it, you kind of have to worry about Hanley considering his staff members ill, but hopefully he doesn't get sick.
Never thought about that. That would seriously not be good.
Well, no, and he had company over when we dropped the little girl off at his house. Hopefully none of them get sick either.
Yeah, Dee Dee would not be happy if Magnus got sick. So
I'm sure Magnus wouldn't be thrilled.
he's stout and Nordic. Yeah, his constitution's pretty good. So
Yeah, but we don't know what this thing is.
that's true. So,
Where'd you go, dice? Oh, there it is. Dive for the dice here.
you're not. You've only rolled them once, and they're already trying to leave. It's like,
I know.
um, And and your friend goes, by the way, I know what you're doing. I know that your rep probably, when they found out we were gonna go on this little hunting trip, he probably told you to try and get all the information out of me that you could.
Well, there might be something to that, but I'm also just curious considering you were stalking me. I want to know about that from me,
Well,
honestly.
well,
But, and yeah, maybe I also want to see if you were dangerous, but I don't really at this point think you are, at least not to me right now.
no. I have not killed randomly as of yet. There's always been a reason for anybody that I've taken out. And as of now, you haven't given me a reason to do that yet, so you're safe for the moment.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Now, okay, I'll. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna deny anything, but I'll stop grilling you. I'm gonna go get myself a nice juicy camper.
Well, see, that was gonna be my next question. Um, do you prefer camper or hiker?
Yeah, campers are easier to go for, I think. They're just sitting around not doing much.
I wouldn't, however, pick on one that had kids.
Oh no,
Then
one gun.
then you'd have to do the whole family thing, and that would be
Oh no, I'm not gonna do that. But I was thinking there's got to be a few, dumb college guys out here
uh,
camping.
well.
Dumb college kids are easy to prey on.
There might be one or there. We could try and find a college couple that's camping, and you know, one of us take one, and the other one take the other one, and
Or a group, any group of people just hanging around doing whatever campers do.
yeah, yeah. We gotta stop the incredibly horrible spread of campfire marshmallows anyway. So, because even if you're human, those things will kill you. So,
Besides, another thing that makes campers easier to get at than hikers, campers have all been drinking all day.
well, yeah, that's true.
They're going to be easy to prey on.
You just got to be careful that they haven't been drinking too much.
Oh, that's part of the fun of
Yeah. You don't want your blood to have, 60 proof alcohol content.
I don't mind.
So, you guys walk for a ways, and off the beaten path a little bit is this small Airstream silver camper. And next to it is an old beat up 80s like Chevy Impala. Like a college kid's first car type deal. and you can see out of the little window in the Airstream. There's a light on in the window. So there's actually at least somebody in there. So what do you propose that the two of you do?
Well, so there's nobody outside the camper. They're all
No.
whoever's there is inside.
Right. Because, when it gets dark and you're out in the woods, it gets dark. And if you don't have a big fire going outside, there's no real light outside. So,
Right. Well, I mean, if they were making a lot of noise, I'd probably go up to the door and knock on it and yell at them to, be quiet and stuff to get them to open the door. But since they're not,
hey, here's an idea. You could go up to them, knock on the door, and be like, Watchtower Society.
well, I guess it would probably be easier to attack them outside. So,
Or you
well,
can just, or the two of you just take the door off the Airstream, walk in, and be like, yeah, hi.
I'm going to try to get them to come outside. I'm going to go, if the car door, is the car door unlocked?
Don't know you.
I'm gonna try the car door, open it. So I'm gonna try to open it and then close it, and make a lot of noise, so they think the car's being messed with, and they come on out.
Oh, so they think that somebody's trying to steal the car.
Right.
Uh, give me hold on here. We're gonna go with an expression and socialize role with that.
Okay. Well, that was a straight failure. No, actually, it was. I got 1-1. So was that a botch or?
If you got no successes,
Yeah, I got no successes and I got a 1. So I guess that's a botch.
that's a botch. You go to open the door and slam it, and you forget that your hand is there. And so you basically slam the door on your hand. And you scream just out of reflex. Which does actually almost accomplish what you wanted it to. You see a girl, a dark-haired girl, stick her face up to the window trying to see what's going on outside. From what you can see, she's either wearing a very low-cut outfit or nothing at all. And after a minute or two, she turns around and leaves the window. And your friend is like, well, that was a good move. So, got any thoughts on Plan B?
Well, I don't know. What can you think of to get him out here?
Oh, here's one. He walks over to the airstream, reaches around the edges with both hands, and then starts lifting one side of it off the ground.
Well, that ought to do something.
Uh, and then just drops it. Makes this large clunking noise. If that doesn't bring him out, we're going in. Because we put too much effort into this not to get them at this point. And I'm going to roll to see if they actually come out. And in fact, they don't. I rolled one success, but I also rolled a one.
I guess we're going in then.
So it wasn't a botch, but they didn't come out, which your friend is extremely surprised by. It's like, why wouldn't that get them to come?
Oh, I guess we're ripping the door off after all and going on in.
Yep. Do you want to do the honors, or do you want me to do that?
Why not? I'll go for it. I mean, I didn't want to
Okay.
be quite so vampire-y, but if that's what's required, then.
Uh, give me strength, a strength and athletics.
Okay. Okay, that is a straight failure. No ones, but no successes.
Like, you've got to get out more. You've got to do more vampire type stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I'm hungry. I need some blood.
you gotta tone down the cooking thing a little and do more vampire type stuff.
Yeah, I guess there's something to that.
He's like okay, I'll do it. He just walks up the little metal stair thing to the door and just kicks the door and it flies off the hinges. And he just he turns back to him and goes, how do you want to play this?
Well, I mean, are you
Uh,
telling me they're not up and at us right now?
uh, he looks in the door. This is sort of you walk in the door and it's the small kitchen type deal. And then there's a bed near the back. And there's two shapes in the bed under blankets, sort of rolling around and, quote, otherwise occupied. And even with all the noise that kicking the door made, they're apparently too busy to stop what they're doing.
Well, him should make it easy then. We just go in, one of us grabs him off of her, takes care of him, the other one jumps on her and chomp.
So, no introductions, no nothing, just
No, just we're doing this the vampire way. We might as well just do it.
yeah. How thinking we go in as a couple selling, burial insurance.
I don't think that's gonna work after we just broke down their door.
Okay, we're really pushy salesmen. I don't know. Because
No, I'll say we go in with eyes blazing red and fangs out and just go for it.
Because they're definitely going to need burial insurance after. So, yeah. But, yeah, if they're too preoccupied to even notice me kicking the door in, so with rather amazing speed, both of you are at either side of the bed rather quickly. And you see the blanket get flipped back and the girl's on top of the guy. And your friend looks over to you and goes, "Which one would you like?" And at this point, the girl notices something is freaking wrong here. Because, like you said, both of you, your eyes are red and you're in attack mode.
So I'll grab her by the shoulders and yank her back right off the big guy.
And she screams, and the guy opens his eyes and suddenly realizes what's going on. And I gotta give this guy a name. Your friend, not.
Oh, I do remember his name. It was Colin.
Oh yeah, okay. So Colin just literally dives on the guy. Doesn't even give him time to breathe. The guy looks up, his mouth opens, and that's it. And yeah, Colin just dives on him and starts draining him and shit. There's blood spurting everywhere and like. So, are you any neater with the girl than he
Well,
was?
because I'm in kind of full vampire mode, I'm a little cruel, so I hold her to make her watch him do that, and then I attack her.
You, yeah. she tries to scream while he's doing this and can't. She's like in full shock mode. Uh, and at the same time, you know, she's not even trying to get out of your grip. She's just like, you know, this is like the worst nightmare come true. And then, yeah, Colin climbs off the guy, and like, that was good. He had some nice endorphins going on. Uh, then he looks at the girl and flashes his fangs at the girl, which still have blood on them, and you see actual tears come out of the girl's eyes, and
Well, now that she's nice and terrified, and I know she isn't going to fight, and then I'm just going to stick my fangs in her neck.
she just sort of slumps. He's like, we probably should not make a kindred out of them. We didn't get permission for that.
I wasn't planning to. This is a hunting trip, not a. I don't want any newbies on my watch. But I've got an idea to make this look like, just a tragedy kind of thing. Someone broke in on them, kicked in the door, and I pulled out my gun, kicked in the door, and shot these poor people.
Well, in that case, we shouldn't drain them. We should leave enough blood so that when you shoot them, it's not like you shoot them and nothing happens.
Right. Well, we could leave a little bit and then, have another little snack before we leave.
Well, yeah, there's nothing that's we can't have a camper and a hiker. Who knows? So he moves out of the way. Where do you put her after you're done with her?
I just drop her on the floor.
Oh, he says, actually, you might want to put her back in the bed.
Oh, yeah.
See,
Make
then
it look like they were surprised in bed.
well, then we can cover them back up, and then you can shoot them through through the sheet or whatever, and it makes it look like they were in the middle of having sex.
Right, put her back on top of them. That works.
And then, yeah. So that way, somebody broke in trying to rob them, and
maybe we ought to toss the place a little too.
Oh, if the car works, we could drive it off into the woods. Like, they couldn't find anything in the trailer, but they took the car.
Right.
So after shooting them, of course.
Right. Yeah.
Or we could be really mean and shoot them and then put their bodies in the front seat of the car and just leave them there.
I don't think we ought to leave them in bed, but
Uh,
maybe we ought to go through if they got any wallets, if they have any money or anything, we should take it.
well, yeah, extra cash is always a good thing. So,
Well, I was thinking for the whole, make it look like a robbery thing,
well, yeah,
but you're right, extra cash isn't a
but
bad thing either.
they're not. If we find any, they're not getting it back. Uh, so you guys start rifling through the camper. Give me a investigation roll to see if you find anything. Oh, oh, okay. We'll do that first.
Nope, that was a botch.
You're just having the hardest time. Okay, now you don't find anything, and Colin's like, well, I'll look around while you shoot the two of them. I I need a firearms roll from you. In fact,
Okay.
I need two of them, one for each.
Okay. Okay, well, that was just a straight failure. And that was one success.
Uh, you're able to shoot her, but you miss him,
I'll try again.
and the bullet goes off into the side of the camper. And Colin's like, you need to practice with that thing if you're going to use it.
I'm gonna try again.
Okay.
That was shit. That was a success, but also a one.
So you put another bullet. This time it flies out the door, actually hits the car.
So I'll hand the gun to Colin and be like, I don't know what's going on with my aim right now, but you want to give it a try?
You give me another investigation roll. He's like, you keep looking around and let me do this. God damn it.
Okay, that was a 10 for investigation. And I rolled again and got a 1. Fuck.
He rolled 4 firearms dice and got 4 successes.
Oh.
He takes your gun and without even looking, just empties the rest of your gun into this guy. He's like, now they'll think they were really pissed at the guy, but not so much at the girl. The girl only took 1 bullet, and the boyfriend took 4. But now, let's see, what would that be? Give me an athletics roll to see if you can. Actually, no. Give me an investigation roll to see if you can find where the bullet went into the side of the trailer, so you can
Okay.
pull it back out again.
Okay. Wait, when did you make roll? When it back in? Okay. An investigation roll. I know it's almost food time. That is one success.
you are able to find um, bullet that's the stray bullet that went into the side of the camper and pull it out. Colin said we should probably do that with the one you put in the car too. So the only bullets they find are the ones in the two campers.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So these guys didn't have anything of value with them. All they had were like camping supplies and shit. They didn't even. They were dumb enough to not even bring any money with them. Or maybe it's in the car, which would be stupid too, to leave it outside. In fact, while we take the bullet out of the car, we should investigate the car to see if there's anything worth having in the car.
Right. Yeah, it's a good idea.
So, the two of you go outside. The bullet in the car is fairly easy to find. It went through the windshield, and you can see the bullet hole in the past.
Although, well, shouldn't we leave the bullet then? Because if it's obvious that the car was shot at and there's no bullet, that looks a little suspicious, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. Where if there's a hole in the trailer, that's no biggie because it's a trailer and so there's a hole in it.
Right. So, yeah, I think we ought to leave the bullet in the car.
And they'll match the ones that are in the people. So, but give me an investigation check to see if they did in fact leave anything in the car worth having.
No, that's a straight failure.
Nope. How these two were gonna do anything with apparently no money is amazing. But no,
I'm gonna go feed the dog real quick.
actually, we'll go ahead and take a 20-minute break here. And we'll be right back. And you can decide if you want to go after another camper or hiker or anything like that. All right. Welcome back to episode 8 of Vampire the Requiem Louisville. Before the break, our intrepid pair, who has a problem with investigating things apparently, didn't find anything in the car, which leads you to believe that the couple you killed had no money whatsoever, because unless they were carrying it around with them and they just weren't wearing clothes at the time. So what did the two of you do at this point?
Well, I mean, we're done with these two, obviously. So,
Obviously.
and tell me if I'm wrong here, but I'm assuming vampires don't leave fingerprints.
Not that I've ever heard of.
All right, so we don't really have to worry about that. It looks, maybe it looked like someone broke in and killed him and everything. So we're good here. So I say we go have another little snack and then head on back to the.
The odd thing is, with you guys not finding anything, it makes it look like somebody broke in and shot them and left because there's yeah, no money or they didn't take the car or anything.
Well, maybe they pissed someone off. Who
Uh,
knows?
Maybe they owed money to somebody that decided that that wasn't going to work. Uh,
So I have a question. Are there only RV campers here, or are there tent campers too?
well, I would imagine they're both.
Because as far as tent campers go, I think the easiest way to take one of them out, wait around till one of them goes piss in the forest, follow them in, and
Well, there you go. If you're willing to wait that long.
yeah, because I think I need another snack before we head on.
Okay. Well, you guys keep walking down the trail. You pass a couple of hikers that hike by you. They wave and all this stuff. They're like polite and all that. And they all have lights so they can see. You and Colin don't need such things. And a couple of them look at you sort of sideways because of that. You're out here on this hiking trail in the middle of the night and have no gear whatsoever. So a couple of the hikers that hike by sort of look at you guys for a second like these guys are gonna get lost out here and die or something. But they walk by and and you guys keep looking for, you know, camber or tent or the next thing like that. Because you have noticed that the hikers that have hiked by have always been at a minimum in pairs, if not groups. So they would be a little harder to do anything with. Uh, oh, uh, 3, 4, 3. Uh, check. No. Nope. Okay. So you guys walk for a few minutes and you see this 2-room tent. Have you ever seen a 2-room tent?
Yeah.
They're big enough to get my power chair in because I've done it before. And this one also has a pole or well, it looks like a piece of a tree, but it's a pole. And they have a lantern hanging from it outside. So it's almost like a porch light that most people have. Um, but it shines into the tent enough for you to see the shadows in the tent.
Mhm.
There's an entire family in this tent. There's like 5 people in here. And so what do you guys want to do?
Well, you were saying we ought to stay away from families, so maybe we ought to find another tent.
Okay. So you guys keep walking. Little bit of technical difficulty with my headphones there.
Yeah,
I
I heard that.
I pulled there's a connection between my headphones and my laptop, and I pulled the connection out. Um, what I was going to say before that happened is you guys walk for another couple of minutes and you hear a voice over to your left that sounds like it's coming from the woods. You guys go investigate the voice or keep
Well, does it
walking?
sound like they're talking to us, or I mean,
What it's a female voice that is basically calling for help.
well, yeah, might as well go see what's going on.
Give me an investigation roll to see if you can spot the voice.
No, that's a botch.
You're headed off the trail and you trip on the edge of the trail and basically land on your face in the woods. And Colin is like trying really hard not to laugh.
Well, I don't spend a lot of time hiking around. Help
He's
me
like,
up, will you?
he, he's he grabs your arm and helps you up and goes, apparently you know. Uh, like I said earlier, you really should get out more.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think that myself.
He says, the voice, he points over to the left and said the voice came over from over there. And he grabs your hand and helps you make your way through the woods to where the voice is. And when you get there, there's a girl in full hiking gear who you can see her right ankle is laying in a direction that it's not supposed to be in. Yeah. She's broke her ankle fairly severely while hiking. So, what do you guys do?
And she's by herself.
Yeah.
Well, guess I'll walk up to her and be like, "Happened you fall?"
Uh, Yeah, I was hiking in the woods and my flashlight died, and I ended up uh, stumbling over that boulder over there, and I landed just wrong apparently, and I can't get up. I
Well,
can
where are you camped? We help you back over to your camp. Where are you
uh
camped at?
it's yeah over here on the trail about maybe 500 feet maybe. I almost made it back when I fell over the boulder. And Colin looks at you with this look like this could be easier than we were thinking.
Well, I have no intention of taking her back to the camp. Trust me. I don't tell them that.
Well, we could take her back eventually, and we could take the body back. And uh, um,
So I'm gonna pick her up.
yeah.
And she's probably thinking like, "Oh my God, this woman is strong. She can lift me."
Well, actually, to make it look right, both of you take an arm, and you know, since you can't put weight on the ankle, you've both got to help her up and like support her weight and all this shit. You got to make it look right.
Oh, she's not gonna be around long enough to wonder about anything.
so, so, are you gonna take her back to her tent and then do this, or are you gonna do this basically right where you're at?
I'll do it right where we're at, 'cause that way we can just toss her off into the woods and cover up with some leaves or something for a while. Maybe it'll be a while before someone finds her.
Well, uh, both of you, almost in unison, put an arm around her and uh, one of you bites each side of her neck, and for a split second, you see her eyes get really wide, like, what the fuck is this? And then, um, she just goes completely limp. Now, did both of you drink enough to actually kill her?
Yeah, not gonna turn her.
Well, you drink the same amount in both cases. The turning her would mean that you then give her some of your blood.
And now we're gonna drain her.
Okay. Well, then within a couple of minutes, both of you look at each other and your eyes come back down and you've got blood on both of your mouths, and you're now this girl is 120 pounds of dead weight that you're carrying between the two of you. So, what do you do with her at that point?
Also, we take her off a little more into the woods and bury her.
He's like, you know what? We could bury her and then put the boulder that she fell over on the spot where we do it, and that way nobody will ever bother trying to none of the animals will get to her. Nobody will ever try to dig her up.
There we go. We can do that.
Mm. So I need a strength and athletics check from you.
And athletics, okay. That is a 10. Okay, so one success.
You leave Colin to hold her, and you basically pick up this large rock that she tripped over. And Colin rather rapidly digs a mediumly shallow hole. He doesn't dig 6 feet. You guys don't have time for that. But he digs one deep enough that you can throw her in it, cover her up, and then just drop the boulder where. Yeah. And people will think, well, the wind or a storm or whatever moved the boulder a little bit because you didn't carry her all that far. Because once again, you don't have time for that. So you guys take care of that. And then you start hiking back toward the car. Or the pickup truck in this case. Or, yeah, because you took your truck.
Mm-hmm.
And, um, so, and you guys get back to the truck without much incident. It's around midnight by now. You've noticed the hikers have pretty much stopped whatever there is, they've either left or decided to camp for the night. But you two are the only ones out on this trail at midnight. So you make it back to the pickup truck. He comes around and opens your door, and then he goes around and opens the passenger door, climbs in. You've got 2 texts when you get in the truck. And your phone, the text alert is still going off on your phone. Do you save them for later or do you check them?
Oh, I'll check them.
One is Kylie, wondering if everything went okay. The other is Marcie, saying, I would really like it if you could come out here tonight. And that's all the text says. So, what are your replies going to be?
I'll text Kylie and say, yeah, everything went well. No problems.
And do you tell her you're headed back to the strip club or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll head back to the strip club because he needs to pick up his car.
You gotta drop him off so he can pick up his Jeep.
Right, and then I'll shoot her another text, say, Marcie needs me to come out. Don't know what's going on. Maybe something with her uncle. So
So Kylie replies, okay, do you want me to go to my apartment or do you want me to go back to your place? Uh, I don't, we never really, after our little date the other night, we never really decided, am I just temporarily moving in or what's the, and she goes, I know this is like kind of early and kind of out of place, but given the situation, I need to know where I'm sleeping. You
right. Well, Oswald takes back. I don't know if I'm gonna be back home tonight. So you might want to go on back to your apartment, and I'll give you a call.
once you figure out what's going on,
Right.
she says, okay, um, well, I will be waiting for your call tomorrow night because you have another show to do in a day or so,
Right.
day or two. So she says, okay, have a good night. Hopefully everything's okay and I'll see you soon. And that's her text ends there. So now, what do you reply to Marcie?
I tell her I'll be there as soon as possible.
She says, thank you, that would be great. And you drive back to the strip club rather rapidly because being midnight, you can do that a little more. And you drop Colin off at his Jeep in the parking lot. He says, well, tonight's been fun and interesting. Should make for a interesting early morning news report.
Yeah, I'll
Uh,
be watching.
so,
Hey, maybe we can do this again sometime.
well, you never know how things go. Um, I'm here at the club probably 2 nights out of the week. So if you want to do this again, just text me and we'll try and set something up. Uh, I hope everything's okay with your roommate. The last thing we need is more problems for vampires in general.
And
Oh, and maybe while you're there, you can check on a certain uh, puppy
yeah,
that got left there.
right.
um, not fond of werewolves in general, but you know, she's just a little kid, so
Right.
you know. And with that, he says, oh, "Hopefully, talk to you soon." once again, I did enjoy tonight,
Yeah, it was fun.
even if we end up in a little trouble because of it. Uh, so, and he hops in the Jeep, and actually, he doesn't hop in the Jeep. He walks into the club because he's got to tell him he's back because they were watching the Jeep for him. And you head out of the parking lot, and in like 10 minutes, you're in Hanley's parking lot. And his dogs, when they see you drive up the parking lot, they start barking. It's midnight, and most of the time people aren't out here. So they start barking, and Hanley and Magnus come out to calm the dogs down and see you pull up the car. And um, Hanley actually walks over and opens your door. And like he's like, you've got some blood on your lips.
Oh,
In fact, it's like dripping a little bit.
messy
Uh,
ear, sorry.
uh, Apparently, you were having a fun evening. Uh, uh, yeah, we've got a couple things to talk about. Uh, and he sort of escorts you to the door. Magnus says hello. And yeah, takes
I,
care takes care of the dogs for a minute till they calm down. And he walks in the door behind you. Um, Marcie is actually there. And she, because her family's house is only like maybe a few hundred yards from Hanley's house, because this is a wealthy sort of subdivision sort of thingy. Um, so none of the houses are really very far apart. Um, and she says, we have a serious issue. My uncle passed away about an hour ago.
oh, Mars, I'm sorry.
Uh, Thank you, but we have bigger problems.
What's going on?
If my uncle passed away like that, the other three vampires that have this are in big trouble.
True.
Because after my uncle was hemorrhaging blood, like I told you earlier, he had the same response that a vampire would have to sunlight, and there was no sunlight.
Oh,
He just disintegrated.
oh, that's actually kind of terrifying.
Yeah, and while she's in the middle of this little amber colored puppy comes bounding out on all fours,
I'll see
and
your legs better.
she has blue eyes, and she's sort of, like I said, amber colored. And she stops right in front of where you're standing and looks up at you and gives you this look like, I remember you. You're the one that brought me here. And so she sort of rubs up on your leg like a dog would.
She's wagging her tail.
Yeah. And so and Magnus is like, yeah, she got better fairly quickly. Her her leg healed fairly rapidly.
Well, that's
Uh,
good. Have you all had any luck locating her parents?
we haven't. Uh, she can apparently switch back and forth whenever she wants to. And the full moon doesn't have anything to do with it. And as he says that, she switches. And she's not wearing anything because she was just in werewolf mode. And she's like this 10-year-old little girl with the same colored hair as the same amber colored hair. And she's like, I was hoping to get to see you again to thank you for bringing me here.
Yeah, you're welcome.
They helped my leg heal, and uh, Hanley has been very nice to me. Uh, the only bad thing is I don't know where my parents ended up.
So, did you get separated from them when those guys attacked?
Yeah, my parents ran, and I couldn't keep up with them. Uh, and she turns to Hanley and Magnus really quick and is like, oh, by the way, if you ever want to know what your dogs are saying outside, just let me know. Because I know why they bark and all that stuff, so I can let you in on this. Uh, and they both look at her and their eyes get big, like, never thought about that. But she turns back to you and sort of hugs your legs and is like, uh, I know you guys have some pretty difficult stuff to talk about because I can feel the energy in this room. Uh,
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now.
but so I'll let you guys handle that. But I'm glad you came back and I was able to see you again.
I'm glad you're doing better, and I'm sure Hanley and Magnus will keep trying to find your parents.
She says, in case they can't, I would like to stay here with Hanley. And Hanley looks at her like, we'll have to think about that one. Uh, and the look on his face is, I've never dealt with a 10-year-old before. I don't know what I'm doing here. And Magnus just sort of chuckles a little, smiles, because Magnus is from a big family. So he's like, eh. but, um, but Marcie's like, yeah, if the other vampires progress like my uncle did, we've got about a month.
Oh, that's not that's not good. Uh,
Uh,
now, Corvus told me he's got people trying to, scientists and all trying to figure this out. But if it's that progressive, that's not a good thing.
right. We don't we don't have any time really. Um, I'm gonna call Corvus tomorrow. Um, because I'm literally gonna go pass out. Um, and she gives you a hug and uh, she whispers in your ear. She's like, "So what have you and Kylie actually been up to?"
What do you mean? What have we actually been up to?
she's she gives you this look like she's trying to avoid the guys getting into this conversation, and she gives you this look like, I know you, I know yeah,
Well,
what you,
I imagine we've been up to pretty much what you think we've been up to, actually.
and she's like, okay, pretty much guess that. Where is Kylie at the moment?
Well, I sent her back home to her apartment because I wasn't sure if I was going to be spending the night here or going back home tonight. But I told her I would give her a call tomorrow.
Mm, okay, well, what, and she she's like, well, was this a one-time deal or
Oh, I hope not. I don't think so.
okay? Because now that I'll be able to come back home because I have no real reason to stay with my uncle anymore. Technically, Kylie is not nec- technically necessary.
Well, right, but that doesn't mean I can't date her.
Well, no, I'm just saying that she doesn't have an actual job reason to show up anymore.
Right. But,
She can go back to whatever she was doing for Corvus before that.
right, right. But, we might keep on keeping on.
Oh, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying that I'm coming back home now.
Right, that's that's
Yeah,
great. I mean,
so,
I'm sorry your uncle died, but it's nice to have you back home.
and we got, uh, we need to talk to Janice and Corvus and maybe even the prince about this because this is probably a vampire's worst nightmare.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, Corvus at least needs to know all about what's going on for
so
sure.
this is not good.
Oh, by the way, our little friend, his name's Colin, by the way.
Yeah.
Uh, just to let you know, regarding the blood on his jacket, that wasn't any human. That wasn't a human kill or nothing. He got in a fight with his sponsor. He got in a fight with his sire over his sire's wife, and yeah, that's just sire's blood all over his jacket.
Well, that's not good either because that means he doesn't have a problem killing other vampires if there's a necessity for it.
No, well, he made that clear enough. He didn't tell me exactly what's going on, but he's got ambitions in the vampire community. That's all I know, and that's probably something I ought to pass along to Corvus as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because knowing that, I have a feeling they'll want to keep track of him.
Yeah. Well, I thought at first he was behind all this disease thing, but he made it clear he wasn't that. So,
Well,
not behind the werewolves either.
I don't think you would have a vampire planning werewolf stuff. They
Well,
don't
I don't
real
know. We might be using them as guard or as attack dogs, sick
va-
of humans.
vampires and werewolves hate each other. That they turn on him in a heartbeat.
Hey, now, don't say that
Uh,
too loud.
uh, well, well, Sarah's a whole other thing.
Yeah, she seems to be quite a fan of you. Quite a fan of yours.
Well, she's been eating quite well since she's been here. Uh,
You feeding her kibble?
no, feeding her human food.
Well, that's
Uh,
probably better.
she and she helps me exercise the dogs, which is quite helpful. As a matter of fact, uh, she can outrun the dogs, and that's pretty interesting for a 10-year-old. Uh, and Magnus is like, "Oh, you should just keep her. There's not a problem." I grew up in a large family. One little kid is not a problem.
Cute little thing, anyway.
He's Hanley's like, "Are you kidding? I've never had kids before." And then he's like, "For a minute, I forgot. I have a staff member that has this thing, whatever this is.
How's he doing?
Uh, he's in the earlier stages of it, but it's progressing. He's getting worse. Um, we need to find out what this is and find it fast."
Yeah.
And Magnus is like, "I agree, but we've done all we can for tonight. We need to talk to whoever higher up that we need to talk to and go from there." And then he turns to Hanley and goes, uh, "Since Dee Dee is here, do you mind if we make use of your dungeon downstairs?" And Hanley smiles, yeah, pats Magnus on the shoulder and goes, "I don't have a problem with that at all." Um, and so at that point, Magnus takes your hand and he says good night to Hanley and Marcie. And Marcie looks somewhere between stunned and repulsed, maybe, because she is. This is definitely not something she's into. And she's like, are you, if you're like dating Kylie? Are you gonna mention this?
Oh, to her, you mean? I already sort of have.
Okay. And what was her response?
Seemed all right with it as long as I didn't do anything like that to her.
Okay. So she's more along my line than yours.
Right.
Okay.
But she didn't seem to think, she didn't seem to think it was a horrible thing or anything if I wanted to do it.
She just wasn't into it, apparently.
Right.
Okay. Just wondered. And with that, he takes your hand and leads you downstairs.
He's not curious about who Kylie is.
He lives in a completely different city. He will probably get to that at some point, but yeah. Um, in fact, once you're down in the basement, he does ask you about her. It's like once you're away from the others, he's like, "Who is this Kylie person?"
Oh, she's someone who helped me out a little with my show while Marcie was gone. I met her through Corvus, and well, I kind of laugh. I'm like, she's a redhead. What can I say?
Eh.
Like redheads.
Mm. So the so you two are playing around, huh?
We are.
I have my friends in New Orleans too.
I'll imagine you would.
And yeah, that's the way vampires are because we don't tend to have emotional relationships, so we tend to play with whoever we play with.
I imagine you've got at least one or two that you actually turned, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah. Uh, Vampires can do this quote game a little easier. I don't have to worry about breaking them,
True enough.
physically breaking them, because that gets annoying. Yeah, when they get injured and can't play anymore.
Right.
So, and that's where we're going to leave tonight because uh, everybody else is settled in for the night, for the upcoming morning, and uh, Dee Dee and Magnus are gonna play in the basement for a while, and then probably call it a day. um, so, did you have fun?
I did.
Your dice still has major issues. You got to fix that.
I know.
Yeah, even if you got to take your dice to a psychologist, you got to fix something here because if you don't, they're gonna kill you. So, so I hope everybody out there that watches this or hears it on podcast because our podcast has been going extremely well as of late. Um, likes it as much as we did. And the links for the podcast are in the description. Um, the easiest place to find us is on Spotify if you want to do that. And you know, like and subscribe and all that, because we need more subscribers. um, and buy all of Robin's books because she needs the money. And uh, uh, the more copies of the first 5 she sells, the easier it'll be for her to write the 6th one. So there
Right.
you go. Uh, and next week will be Fallen Dragons. And hopefully, we can have everybody back like we did last week. And you guys actually made a little bit of progress last week, and we get to see the evolving Kenna story and see how that
Oh, poor Kenna.
see how that goes.
She's a mess right now.
And um, come the end of March, we've got another Cthulhu that I'm working on. So, and we all know that Robin's characters always die in Cthulhu. So,
I still have to work out my character for that. I have about a month. I need to do that.
so does Ian, the other player in this. Fact, I need to mention that to him. But we all know that all your whatever character you come up with is going to die a horrible death by the end of it.
Yes.
I just have to decide how horrible. So that's pretty much what's going on, and we're still working on merch that I need to make a couple of phone calls come Monday on that. And then we'll start putting merch up. So uh, I think that's about all I've got for the moment. So uh, hopefully you'll like this and you'll be looking forward to either watching or listening to Fallen Dragons next week. So everybody hopefully have a good night and
See you next time.
yep.